Ramadan Kareem to everybody practicing this month. I want to share a story that happened, say, 2 days ago. I went to the gym after the night prayer, and it was around 10:30 p.m. at night. When I parked my car, I got out and I was walking towards the gym. And while I was walking, I saw a car parking in the handicap area where a guy probably the same age as me, or say 2 years younger, 2 years older, something like that. He got off the car. He helped himself onto the wheelchair. He put the wheelchair on the ground first. He helped himself onto the wheelchair. He closed his car. He pushed himself up the ramp and into the gym without any assistance at all. And he went inside, and what I saw was pretty crazy. It was the people who were the front end at the gym. They were in a conversation with each other, so they didn't even realize that someone had entered and someone was beneath their desk on their wheelchair trying to have their code scanned so that the door opens and they can go inside. When they saw me standing behind, they came a little bit forward and they realized, oh, there is someone below their desk, below this marble slab that they have in front of their cash system or their computers. So they saw this person and they helped him scan their code so that they can go inside. And so they went, and then I was next, and I came in and I scanned my code and I went inside. What am I trying to say here? Can you imagine being in the shoes of someone who has so much trouble just sitting inside of their vehicle by themselves, then putting their wheelchair on the side seat, and then getting off when they're parking in the handicap area, and then sitting onto the wheelchair, and then using all the strength that they have to drag themselves up the ramp and into the gym, and then being not seen by the customer representatives to help them scan the code and stuff like that. And everybody goes through the stairs upstairs, but this guy took the elevator and then he went upstairs and he was still on the wheelchair. Just imagine going through all of these motions and going from machine to machine and having the most troubling time just to have a little bit of workout in. When you look at a situation like this, what comes to mind is how many things do we take for granted every single day? Just imagine being in the shoes of this guy. How can you imagine the trouble he has to go through every single day, or however many weeks, however many days of the week that he comes just to work out? And for you, it's just like you take the car, you park it, and it's like everything is so easy for you because you can do it. But the person who had to go through so much trouble, just imagine how much fatigue he has to endure just to have the daily activities done. I mean, this is just a reminder. If you find yourself in a conundrum where all the time you're thinking of, how do I be grateful? How do I have this feeling of gratitude within me? How can I be a happy person? How can I be a content person? So on and so forth. If you struggle with this kind of thinking, just take these examples for instance. Another story. I was watching one of these strangers interactions on YouTube. There was an interaction that I saw, and this guy goes up to this lady who was in her say last 20s, and he asks her, like, what are your biggest challenges as far as your everyday life is concerned? And she was on a wheelchair. So she says, one of the things that I struggled with the most is the fact that because I'm on a wheelchair, And because my mobility is restricted, a lot of times other people inside the circle would try to move me from place to place. Say if I'm blocking a pathway or whatever, someone would come and someone would take control of my wheelchair and move me to the side. And she was just discussing how hurt she was when she realized that people have the control over where she goes. Just imagine being in her shoes and being dictated by the rest of the world of where you can move, where you can go, and anybody could come and move your wheelchair around like you're nobody. Just imagine being in these people's shoes who go through every day like an absolute warrior and just beyond being human beings. The mentality that they have to have in order to move their lives forward. And if you and I sit here complaining about how the bills are expensive, or how someone said something, or how this thing didn't work out, or how any kind of problems and complaints that we have at workplace, at home, outside, anywhere. When we're complaining about these things, we totally take the rest of the things that we are given for granted. And that is where we have to bring in this mindfulness of how tough the life of so many people around us are. Anyways, this is just a reminder of how we can inculcate gratitude and contentment in our lives by considering that so many people have it so much worse, and we're taking 99% of our blessings for granted on the daily. You have to practice gratitude. It's going to completely transform your life. That is the only way to have a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Because you could be given $1 million or $10 million and you'll still be comparing, you'll still be complaining, you're still not going to have enough gratitude, because that's not the mindset that you operate with. It's all about the mindset. It's not about the money, it's not about the flashy things, it's not about your car, it's not about your housing, it's not about those things. These things are great, but then if you do not have the mindset of gratitude, you'll still not see the bigger picture, and you'll still take all the things that you have for granted. Practice gratitude. Share with a friend if this resonates with you. Like the video and subscribe to do this self-growth and self-empowerment journey together. Empower yourself and empower the world. I will see you guys in the next video.